Hello. Hi, everybody. Hello. Welcome to Fundy Sunday. We haven't had this in a little while. I wanted to do an update to a very important story that I've been following. It's about what's called the 2x2 church slash cult. I did do a video about it uh, on, I believe it was June 30th, and there's been some developments since then. I put in the description below, I added the link to the first part that I did on the 2x2 cult. I also put some links down there. There's one of the latest development by ABC News about the follow-up of the FBI's investigation of 800 plus predators. One of them has been caught and sent to jail for 120 years. So I have that in the description as well. I will be doing an update, a announcement towards the end, so stick around for that if you're a member of my channel and or you've watched me for any period of time. I will be explaining some things of the future of my channel and answering any questions later on today for my members. So just so you know that. Yeah, let's get into this. I did have some visuals I was going to use. I couldn't really pull it all together, but I do want to show you one thing that I have and give you a little bit of a background. Okay. Okay, so the 2x2 is one name for a very secretive sect of Christianity. It started in Ireland, founded by William Irvine in the late 1800s, and it is what they call like a home ministry. They have two people going out, men in particular, that are ministers. They go 2x2 into cities. It's based on their whole structure of their church is based on Matthew 10, which talks about Jesus sending out his disciples 2x2 and tells them to stay in people's houses, to preach the gospel, and to only take, a shirt or whatever, like just basically to depend on other people for their sustenance. So that's how it started. It's all over the world. These are some of the names for it. It usually goes by 2x2s. It's also the Truth, the Way, Workers and Friends, Christian Conventions, Assemblies of Christians, Cooneites, the Meetings, the Friends, and the Brethren. And there's several more as well. And they mostly meet in houses. They do have what they call a convention, which we had conventions too when I was in my church I grew up with. And then in the cult, we did go to some conventions as well. It's usually a big gathering of like-minded people, and they don't have any structure as far as they're not registered with the government. They're not tax exempt. They're not really even on radar as far as the money flow or anything like that. So they just go around when they want to advertise for a meeting in a building or one of their conventions. They will usually just put up flyers in a grocery store or something like that. So what has become super problematic over the years, and some of the allegations date back into the 1950s, and this cult is in, I'm not sure if it's in Vermont where I live, but I know that it has a presence in Massachusetts in Berkshire County, which is very close to where I live, my old stomping grounds, and Lenox, Mass is very close. And there's been some cases, some allegations there. There's also been some cases in Boston and all over. It's reached 34 states. the FBI is investigating in 34 states, and they have had over 1,000 victims come forward. And that's only who have come forward. And the estimates of membership right now is really hard to pin down. The lowest estimates are in the 70,000 range up to 200,000. So we're talking something that is huge. Like my cult had 50 members. Scientology has around 20 to 30,000 members tops. This is anywhere from 3 times to 10 times bigger than even Scientology. And there's been thousands of victims. We know of 1,000, but know that is a very low estimate. There's, I heard 800 to 910 predators that are alleged predators that are on a list of people that have been reported that are being investigated by the FBI worldwide, not just in the US, but 34 states in the US. I know I'm rambling. I'm like rattling off a lot of facts here, but if you have any questions or comments, please put question or comment below, or leave it if you're on the replay. Please leave your questions and comments in the comments below. And okay, Sai, that's a good question. It has lots of names. If you back it up, I rattled off a couple of their names, but it's mostly known by 2x2s, 2 times 2 or 2x2s. Yeah. So again, yeah, just hit me with your questions and comments. I've got my friend George Massey in the background, and he's starring questions, so we'll definitely go over those. So let me see where else we want to go with this. Okay. I did put the link below for the ABC news update. They, to their credit, there's one in particular that sticks in my mind. Her name is Kyra Phillips, and they've been like a dog with a bone, because when they were first tipped off, this news group in I believe it was, I didn't write it down, but I believe it was in San Francisco. I think it's in the other video. But they started this investigation. They got the FBI involved. There's the FBI in Omaha, Nebraska. Their field office is very active in this investigation. They're asking anybody that has any kind of information whatsoever to contact them. So it's just it's ongoing. And they said even if it was years and years and years ago, they still want to know about it. So yeah, this is very encouraging to me, because there have been laws that have been in place to protect, unfortunately, these religious sects, and now the laws are being changed, thankfully, especially when it comes to child SA, that this is not okay, and it does need these victims need justice. Okay, what else? Okay, there is if you have access to Hulu, there is a really good documentary about it. I believe it's a sort of like a 2020 style, or 60 minutes kind of style presentation. I think it's about an hour, but it's on Hulu. If you just search 2x2 Church, it should come up. I watched that yesterday. I think that was published in June or July as well. And they will be doing updates. So this is just the beginning, honestly, of hopefully many people being brought to justice. And yeah, it's happening all over the world. And the US has unfortunately been very lenient about this, and it's systemic in many of these cults. So okay, what I even mentioned, Massachusetts. I got into my last my last video, I think it was about an hour and a half, I got into some of the doctrine behind this. I got into some of the practices. It's very much a fundamental group where it's a hierarchy, patriarchal, misogynistic, very oppressive towards women and children. And of course they have like the modest dress and no TV and things like that. So it's a lot of isolation and a lot of oppression. And if you do watch that documentary, you'll hear several of the former members just talk about the gaslighting and talk about the coercive control and the silencing and the suppression and oppression of it all. And it's so familiar, and it's just across the board, in cults. It really is. So what else I think I probably covered most of what I wanted to say right now. I had just a little reference to a Bible reference, is 1 Corinthians 6:1, which says something along the lines. It's like, I remember it from my days of studying the Bible. It was just basically like the translation that I read about it was, how dare you report another brother or sister in the Lord, right? Another parishioner and this is kind of like what Scientology preaches too, of not reporting to the authorities. You're supposed to bring it to the court of your peers in the church. And so that is something that fundamental Christians often will look at the Bible as their law and take everything completely word for word as the gospel, right? And follow that rather than seeking help outside. And I'm glad that it's changing. So I'm going to go through some of your comments, and then I want to talk about what's next for today and what's next for my channel. So let me start that. We've got Smile, Be Happy. Thank you so much for becoming a member. Appreciate that. Hopefully we'll see you later today. George Massey, thank you so much. I got new cups. Yay. All right, I'm going to do it, guys. And I still haven't gotten the recording, but I will sing it. It's raining cups. Hallelujah. It's raining cups. Amen. There it is. Thank you, Giorgio. Okay. Hey, Eric S. Yes, I saw that too. I have it at the top of my queue to finish it, though. I saw half of it. Eric S. Looking forward to this live. Marilyn just watched Growing Up in Polygamy's video on this cult, how it compares to FLDS. Absolutely. I was going to put that in the notes too. I will do that later. But if you can look it up too, if you want to just find it on YouTube. It's Growing Up in Polygamy, and I think it's the latest video that they did. Yeah, I really like them. Bishop Manage. Wow, I had no idea. Yeah, they've been a lot. Yeah, and they claim that there's no founder, which, the founder has pretty much been identified as this William Irving person from Ireland in the late 1800s. But they claim that they are the first and only true church, and that they were, came from the first church of the apostles after Jesus' death and rising and ascension, that they were, that they can date right back to what they call the upper room and all that. I don't know about all that, but yeah, it seems like every cult says that they have the truth and they're the only ones. Mine did, that's for sure. Laker Dog, The Way is the reason I started watching channels about Scientology. I have relatives that are involved in The Way. Yeah, and it could be, I don't know if it's particularly this actual sect that you're talking about, because I have heard of some other groups called The Way. In fact, back in the 70s, I remember my older brothers and sisters in the foster home had a Bible that said The Way, and it was the living translation of the Bible, and they called it The Way. So they use a lot of, well, Jesus said, I'm the way, the truth, and the life. So you'll hear that a lot in Christian circles. But I'm glad that you are aware of this and that you started watching channels about Scientology. Yeah, it's very, very similar. Very similar. Buffy Summers. It's crazy how many quote Christian cults I've never heard of. Oh yeah, there are so many. Yeah, and especially these little house things. Well, this isn't little. This is it's funny. It doesn't really have a headquarters or a like one. They have overseers over, like there's one in Arizona where this man was convicted for 120 years. They went to his overseer, and of course nothing came of that. But there is a hierarchy, but there's no way to really pin them down, and you can't even follow the money. It's just crazy. Hey, Julie Markham, I'm so glad you're here. Thank you. I'm just going down the line here. Oh, there's Joel McQueen. It's amazing how many cults there are everywhere you look. I think we must be careful and keep our eyes open. I know of one near me. They are growing, but slowly. Oh, yeah. Colorado, right? Yeah. That's where what was her name? Mother God? Mother God. Oh boy. I gotta go back and review that. Maybe do another thing about that, because that was one crazy cult. And that was the woman that said she was God. And then she was like, what do they call it? Petrified. Yeah. It was very weird. And they found her, like a mummy in her house or in the commune. And I gotta remember, I'll have to look it up so I don't misspeak. But yeah, that was very weird. They had like Christmas lights, or like wound her with Christmas lights, and had it was very, very bizarre. Very bizarre. Hey, Jobo Baggins, great to see you. Hi, Marilyn, long time no see. This call is particularly interesting in how they went unnoticed for so long. Yeah, like century. It's insane. More than a century. Oh, comment. What was the Corinthians? It is 1 Corinthians 6:1. I can look it up. Because I had you guys, I was up late and I had so many things I wanted to like kind of put like a little slideshow kind of thing together, but I just kind of get my act together. But it's all up here. I just can't remember. Oh boy. I feel like I had it. You know what? I'm going to just find it on my phone. It's so hard to do it here. Okay. Because I know I had it on my phone somewhere. Okay. Oh boy, there's so many translations. Okay. American Standard Version says, dare any of you, having a matter against his neighbor, go to law before the unrighteous and not before the saints. So it's basically saying that you go to the law, they're unrighteous. They're not going to give you justice or appropriate measures. You need to go to the saints. Let's see. God's word translation, when one of you has a complaint against another, how dare you go to court to settle the matter in front of wicked people? Why don't you settle it in front of God's holy people? Yeah. So that's why a lot of things go unreported, because obviously the overseers did nothing about it. He said, keeping quiet and within your bubble opens the door for abuse, recipe for every abuser. Absolutely. Yeah. First and only true church, aren't they all? Absolutely true. Yep. Jesus probably looking around thinking, what the fuck? Yeah, right. Comment, it seems at the end of the day, it comes down to patriarchy and how they can use and abuse and oppress people, especially women and children. Yeah, it's just so sick and wrong. And I will definitely be keeping up with this. I have been really immersing myself. Every time I hear about it, I'm like, okay, I've got to look it up, because I really want to see this explode, as far as not just this cult, but others. There's so many cover-ups. There's so many victims that need justice. There's so many perpetrators that need to be brought to justice and put away forever, because I'm sick of this crap. It's just awful. Okay. Like I said, this isn't gonna be long. Anyone who's been following my channel knows that I've had a little bit of a hiccup here, a little bit of upheaval, and I don't really want to discuss it at length publicly, but I do want to talk it through with people that have been with me for a long time, and even new members. I'm going to do a live stream in about an hour and a half at 1 o'clock Eastern, and yeah, I am going to talk about this, but I'll say this now, that I am going to go independent. I'm still here. I'm still going to do Scientology content as well as other cults. I'm still going to be here for everyone to talk to. I'm still here for all of the creators. And if anybody wants to collaborate or talk to me, you're welcome to email me, or many of you have my number or are friends with me on Facebook. But I feel like I need to take some time, and I don't want to give up my channel. I don't want to give up this cause. And I need to reflect, and I need to focus on some things that I feel have been put on the back burner. So I'm not going to, like I said the other day when I was very upset, I'm not going to carry water to anyone. I'm not here to represent anyone or anything. I'm not SBTV anymore. And that doesn't mean that that I don't care about this cause. I absolutely do. And I still will be here. And I will talk about it more in length about what that may or may not look like. And what I have some things that I really want to pursue, and we'll talk about it. So I did gift some memberships. I hope that many of you can make it. It's $2.99. I hate to put it behind a paywall, but unfortunately my content has been used to exploit, bully, and intimidate me. And so I'm not going to have that. If they want to pick my shit apart, they got to pay for it. I paid $3. Yeah, it's unfortunate. And I don't know. I think it's a combination of people's brokenness, and they're unwilling to, and hey, I'm not judging, because I've been unwilling in the past to own up to my stuff too, but to attack people for really something that they didn't do, I don't think that's right or fair. So here we are in this space, guys. We've got billion-dollar cults breathing down our neck. We've got all kinds of people that have gone through trauma and unfortunately are very wounded and kind of lashing out at each other. And I just, for my own mental health, I really can't do that. And I will go into a little more detail and share some personal things later on. But I just wanted to say that. And yeah, let's keep fighting cults, guys. And I think I'm going to end it there. But that is part 2 of a little series I want to do about the 2x2 cult. And I got some other things coming up. But I hope to see as many as I can soon. And yeah, we'll talk to you guys later. Have a great day.